Hey guys, my name is Ben Schulman with Dog Ranch Resort Dog Training, and today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the misconceptions we have about feeding our dog and introduce a wonderful toy that I use for my personal dogs, a Kong. The first thing is, how much am I feeding my dogs? Because I always get this question, and the bottom line is I feed based off of how they look. So if I read the bag of my dog food, it typically says for an 80-pound dog, they get 3 to 3 and 3/4 cups of food. Well, I have an 80-pound lab, and his name is Jackson. And I tried feeding him that for a good year. And what I noticed is he was getting severely overweight. So what did I do? I cut back his food to 2 cups a day. He gets 1 cup in the morning, 1 cup in the evening. Now, my other dog, Kane, he is a 70-pound Belgian Malinois. And on his recommended feeding, it says he should get about 2 3/4 of a cup to 3.5 cups of dog food. And what I noticed was he was getting super skinny. So instead of feeding him 3 1/3 cups, he gets 2 cups in the morning, 2 cups in the evening. I have two totally different dogs. One is laid back, one is high energy. And the recommended feeding on the bag isn't necessarily 100% correct. For 2 cups for Jackson to stay at 80 pounds, he's lean, he's healthy, and it's a proper weight for his joints. For Kane, who is constantly running, playing fetch, has to be told to lay down a million times a day, otherwise he'll patrol the whole house. I have to feed him 4, maybe even 5 cups just to keep some weight on him. So we often overfeed our dogs. Generally, dogs are supposed to be on the leaner side. When you think of a dog in the wild or rescuing a dog, most of them are skin and bones. And in nature, dogs are technically scavengers. So they eat when they can and they eat as much as they can. But then in the future, they don't know when their next meal is. So therefore, they come back and they store those reserves. I see it all the time. If you overfeed your dog is prone to more anxiety. They're prone to basically all sorts of hip and digestive issues, joint issues. So it's really important. Feeding your dog is kind of a feel thing. Just as in humans, if I eat more than someone else and I still stay lean, my metabolism is just faster than the next person's. Everyone has their own chemical balance in their body that allows them to stay at a healthy weight or an unhealthy weight. So when it comes to feeding our dogs, start out with the recommended feeding dosage. And if you notice them being a little thick, then cut back. Don't be afraid to cut back your dog's food. They are not starving by any means. They are scavengers. They are meant to go without eating for days, in theory. We don't do that because we've domesticated them. But what do you think a wolf does in the wild? They don't have a hot plate of dog food for them every morning. So just keeping that in mind, it's a wonderful way of making sure that your dog stays happy and healthy. Now, the other thing that I'd like to introduce today is the beautiful Kong toy. As you guys can see here, this is a Kong Extreme. And basically, I train all of my dogs on using a Kong. The reason why is because it is a fantastic chew toy. We have to think of our dogs chewing up our couches, our furniture, whatever it may be, our shoes. I get that one a lot. And you have to think to yourself, why is my dog going for that item? Well, we've never defined what toy our dog should chew on. They look at everything else in the world as a chew toy, essentially. A stick, a shoe, a couch cushion, a ball, a Kong, whatever. So in the dog world, I always come back to the fact that we need to show our dogs exactly what to do. So how do I go about doing that? Well, whenever I bring a dog into my house or whenever I rescue a dog or whatever it may be, the first thing I have to do is I have to teach them how to chew something appropriately. And for puppies, they really love this. What I do is I'll take all of their puppy food and I'll put it in there. And then at the end, I'll take a nice thing of peanut butter, take a little spoonful here, and just gently close the top so that my puppy can't necessarily get everything inside. Now, what happens is the food shakes around in here, and I'm able to happily give it to my dog to chew on. So I've got my guinea pig here, Jackson. I'm sure he's not going to mind that at all. If you guys just look down there, there he is. He's going to go straight for that Kong. Jackson has been used to a Kong ever since I brought him home. By putting the dog food in there, yes, I might not necessarily get his daily dose of dog food in that one meal, but I teach him how to play a game. I leave the Kong and nothing but the Kong in his kennel. And what he does is he licks the peanut butter, and then all of a sudden the food starts to fall out. And as the food falls out, he starts to eat the food, and he knocks it around, and the more food comes out. What this is doing is it is teaching him that if I play a puzzle, if you will, then I am slowly getting rewarded for playing with this specific toy. So I do that for the first 2 months or so. Then every time I leave the house, I'll take a thing of just normal peanut butter or some cheese or even some non-fat Greek yogurt or whatever it may be. And I just put it on the top, throw it in their kennel when I leave the house. I leave the house for 2 to 4 to 6 hours, however long it may be. And then once I return, they're still in the kennel with their Kong. That's the only thing they've chewed on. So then what do? I fast forward about 2 more months. Now I want to start to leave my dog home alone. They haven't had any accidents. They haven't torn up anything. And overall, they've just been a well-mannered civilian within my household. So I essentially leave the house for 20 minutes. I take the peanut butter, I take the Kong, I put it over the top, and I put my dog on their bed, and I leave the house. I come back 20 minutes later, everything's in order, wonderful. Then what do? I try it again the next day, and I do that, and I slowly increase the duration of time in which I'm gone. So then I'll be gone for 40 minutes for 1 week. Then I'll be gone for 60 minutes for 1 week without putting my dog in the kennel. And then hour, 2 hour, 3 hour, all day. Now my dogs are 4 years old and 9 years old, and I just throw a Kong down on their bed and I say, go to your bed. They go eat their Kong. And next thing you know, we are just perfectly, everything is together when I get home. And that's the main point. But I had to take that Kong over a course of maybe 6 to 8 months and slowly get my dog used to that. Now at home, the Kong is their number one play toy. At home, it is the thing I tell them to chew on when they are pestering me. Because yes, I'm a dog trainer. My dogs pester me from time to time. I'm a little bit more OCD on what they pester me about. But for the most part, when I say go lay down, they go lay down and they chew on their Kong. It gives them a way to burn some of that boredom. It's really wonderful for puppies because they're very durable and it helps kind of soothe that teething instinct that they naturally have. That's all I have on feeding and the Kong today. Kong is a wonderful product. They sell it in all the pet stores. You can order it online, chewy.com, wherever. And if you have any more questions, please email me at bensdrr@gmail.com, or you can always leave a comment in the section below, in the comment sections below, and keep looking out for more videos. Thank you. Have a happy Thanksgiving, everyone.